In approximately 7 weeks I'll be taking on my first ever road bike race, and this is the first week of training.
You really have just got to make the most.
The only problem now. I've just got back in from work and I can think of a fair few things that I'd rather do than go out and do an interval session on my bike. Most of the time what I found with running is the idea of it is a lot worse than actually doing it. When I get on the bike I know for a fact that I'll feel better for doing it. That's what I need to keep telling myself. I've been here many a times before. You ain't always going to feel the best and want to do the training plan. Today's a perfect example of that. Like, I've had a pretty rubbish day. Not for any particular reason, just like when you feel a bit tired and a bit sluggish all day and you just think, you know what, I don't want to do this. And then you get back home and then you've got a nice 50-minute interval session. I want to include these parts into the video as well because sometimes people just put on YouTube every day like they feel absolutely wicked. They don't involve this part of the day when they don't really want to do it. I want to try and give like a normal person perspective, and everything ain't always perfect. I was listening to a podcast earlier and I know most of my sentences start with I've been listening to this, I don't want to take the credibility for it, when everybody's going to find out one way or another. If you don't do the work when you don't want to do the work, then you won't be able to work when you want to work. Oh, something like that. I'll tell you what, that's a great saying when you think about it. As I said upstairs, I know the idea of it is worse than actually doing it, and it will make you feel better, so it's a double whammy.
You might be looking at me and think I'm dressed for all different kinds of weather today, and you'd be totally correct. I've got sunglasses on, a waterproof jacket and full-on winter gloves. This is the most versatile, the most bipolar I've ever seen the weather. 10 minutes apart, going from like this, sunny, to like hailing. There's literally snow on the floor earlier. I've nearly finished my warm-up, I've got 2 minutes left. Oh my god, there's 3 done. I didn't know whether to do it standing up or sitting down. I'm going to do 3 of them standing and 3 of them seated. And I thought that standing up would be a lot quicker, but both times I've been seated I've got to roughly the same place, so it's like a little experiment as well.
Hips that man, I wanna flow like this. Y'all wanna roll and twist. More time and I'm lean up rolling. Lick more time and I'm lean up rolling. True man, 2 ton, rude one. Arabic leng one from Luton. Man, I built a 16 with a loop on 95 and a boot on it.
I'm gonna get me a new set of tyres next, because I've heard many people say how much of a difference they make. For like say 40 quid a tyre each, the difference compared to how much they cost is the best, so I feel like it's a good place to start. This is the windiest it's ever been whilst I've been on a bike as well. It's the first time I've ever thought, oh, I need to hold on here. Hopefully I'm covering the wind enough with my hand so you can hear me.
I can honestly say I feel twice or 3 times as good now than before the ride. So if this is a sign for anyone going to do anything to do with sports after this and you're absolutely dreading it, just get yourself out there, man. You feel so much better after it. And what chance have I got here? I've tried to upload this last night. The Wi-Fi in this house is absolutely dreadful. I don't know if that's now out of focus. There we go. I'm having to use my mirror to like, oh, look at all the sweat in there. I'm having to use the mirror to focus on my face. There we go. And my little spokes coming out of my helmet. So it hasn't even been 24 hours since I've been to this place, and this place being the gym. But yeah, yesterday I came after work and done them exercises, what I haven't done in ages, and my hamstrings this morning are on fire. I've also been sleeping terribly. Not that you care, like, but I just want to get that in. I just think, obviously I'm not recovering fully as well if I'm sleeping terribly. I don't know if it's a sign of just getting old. And I hope to God I get a decent night's sleep tonight, because I've got 2 days on the bike. Tomorrow and the day after I've got 40k and then 25k, so hopefully I can get some decent sleep tonight, which refuels me fully for my 2 days on the bike. God knows how there's people already coming out of the gym. It's only been open 15 minutes. So before I go on today's ride, I want to talk about something what I wouldn't normally show, and it's about fueling. Before I address that, I've got no hair on my head. So basically I've gone for a different cut because I was getting a bit sick of that one. I've had it for years now, and I never imagined that I'd have hair on the back of my head, but I have at the minute. Just takes some getting used to, like when you walk past a mirror or something reflective, you think, what the fucking hell? As I've got the race coming up, this is only week 2 of training, or it should be episode 1 of training. I need to start thinking about my fuel on my long rides. So the only other time I've ever had to worry about fueling is when running marathons, and I think I've done about 40 grams of carbs per hour. But I know on the bike you can, 1, take more fuel on, it's easier, and 2, I think that people have more on a bike. So what I'm going to be doing is having these little gel things, like fruit pastels. They've got 20 grams of carbs in each, and then I'll be having one of these, and it's got 33 grams of carbs in, so 53 grams of carbs an hour. I'll just try it for today and see how I get on. If you haven't watched my other video already, I want to try and get it done in 30 kilometres an hour, and the route is 62k, so that should be just over 2 hours. I ain't brought a mount with me today. There we go, that'll have to do. Today on the agenda, I don't know if I've already said, it's just an easy 40k, and then tomorrow I've got a 25k tempo session. The only other block I've ever done before is a marathon block. I feel like you can put rides like this back to back and not be too worried about injury, because running there's a lot more impact on your body and you have to be careful about getting injured and increase the mileage a lot slower than I feel like you can on cycling, because there's obviously less impact as you're not hitting the floor every step.
Part of the game, they running 5 drills. I'm off for the chain and I'm high still, looking like Scorpion. Get over here. Been some people try and relate, ain't close to here. Think it ain't a sacred place, you done misinterpret. Relationships just ain't been worth it. Fool if you think when I don't post, I ain't working. Never too close, I know no things certain. I walk in purpose, float on surface, fly in person. There's some stuff you gotta be birthed with. Leaving my mark in cursive, bleeding my heart, soothing the soul of yours, the hope they purchase. But I no longer need a piece of margin, float on and let it eat me down the love.
One thing the other day that I noticed when I was doing them hill reps is, hold on a minute, look at that. It's beautiful, honestly. He taught me like how much you can put up on the pedals just as well as push down. I obviously knew that when I first wore the cleats anyway, but I haven't noticed it as much until I done them on Wednesday.
Cause coming, post haste, no more
I'm not gonna lie, I was gonna pull the camera out then and start moaning about how you see all these nice fancy cycling videos on YouTube, and then you kind of, well, I definitely do, kind of expect it to be the same when I get my bike out here, and it just really ain't. There's loads of wind, you get battered by rain half the time. It's nothing like Cape Town or none of these Spanish places like you see all the time, and I think, oh yeah, let's get my bike out, it's gonna be exactly like that, and then forget when I look out the window. I think it just brings you straight back to reality really quick. You really have just got to make the most of things.
In the past, slow improvement. Still, I look back on the strength that it take when going through it. No winning, not to be pumping the brakes. I'm getting to it, no sitting around with.
I mean, this was the wind I was on about, if you can hear it. I mean, at least it looks nice down here. Swings and roundabouts and all that. I sometimes think that like these are the rides where, yeah, they're just to build the miles up, and obviously that's the most important thing, to get the miles in your legs so you're used to it. But I also think sometimes they can be a little bit boring. I'm not about today because I'm quite enjoying it, but sometimes you can keep looking at your computer or your watch in my case and think, these kilometres ain't going down very quick. It's like the kind of rides that I think I'd enjoy doing in a group, or at least with one other person. I might set myself that challenge actually of trying to find a group ride somewhere by, I don't know, by the end of April or something. Then that brings another problem. Like, if I take my camera there, I don't want to be pointing it in strangers' faces basically, and then that poses the question, do you say, oh, it's like awkward, the before stage, like getting your camera out, and then I suppose if I only video myself and then someone pops in the background, that would be the easy way to do it, but I don't want them to think, oh, who's this knobhead here with a camera? And I feel like that's a valid thing to say, but they'll soon find out I'm no professional when they absolutely smoke me. I think it's safe to say that I didn't enjoy that one bit. It's just one of them rides, I think. It weren't too bad at the start, but then towards the end it was just like 100% chore. I'm just glad that's over now, to be honest. That session then just turned into like ticking a box, get it done, just say you've done it. Just every gear, it felt like I couldn't find the right gear, and then I was spinning my pedals too quick, and then if I changed up a gear I was slogging through it. It's just one of them rides where everything felt off towards the end, and I just thought, you know what, I'll be glad to get this done. So I'm glad to dismantle my bike and put it back in the boot, and I'll look forward to tomorrow's session where I can give it some. I think it was the wind just killing all my energy. That's what put a dampener on the whole day, to be honest. But hopefully tomorrow's not as windy and I can put some decent power down and not feel like I'm pedalling through sand, literally. So, little spoiler alert, as you'll be able to see right now, the 25k threshold ride wasn't done outside. I woke up on the Sunday and thought, you know what, I'm going to go and do it in the gym on a watt bike. Now, if you don't know what a watt bike is, it's basically a stationary bike. It's just got like your power meter and how far you've gone, things like that. So then when I got there, I tried to get on it and it said problem with the cable or something, so I couldn't start any kind of workout. So I thought, alright, then I'll go on the bike next to it, which is kind of similar but crap. That wouldn't work.
So then basically I had to use one of them upright bikes at the gym. Well, it's good for general fitness, but not kind of what I wanted to do on the day. So then I ended up, I thought, I can either do it on here now or go home and do it outside. So I thought, whilst I'm out, I'll just get on it. So I got on it. Oh my life. Obviously, if you stop pedalling, you don't roll. So as soon as you stop pedalling, the power and the speed comes right down. I was absolutely dripping of sweat, as you can see here. When I'm recording on this camera app, my mic links to my headphones. So then when I come to watch them in here, the audio is terrible.
It's a lot harder to maintain speed you want to train on here.
This little adjuster for the seat, oh my god. Every pedal stroke, the last 10k, it was like digging on the inside of my legs. Because I found it so difficult, I'd done the first 10k at roughly 27 kilometres an hour, and then I had the 5k in the middle, I had nice and easy, and the last 10k, 27 kilometres an hour, there or thereabouts as well, because I couldn't believe how much harder it was on there. But anyway, I've got roughly another 5 weeks until my first ever bike race, so if you're new here, whack like, maybe even hit subscribe if you want to see me suffer at my first ever bike race in a couple of weeks.